Hi, my friends. How are you today? Hopefully, the last couple of days about networking produced some good results for you, certainly gave you a few things to think about. But for today and the next 2 days, I'm going to be talking with you specifically about your upcoming interviews and basically how you can crush them. Now, the first thing that has to happen when you have gotten that email or that phone call saying, we want you to come for an interview, is you have to do your research. It's why you have a job tracker. Go back to that job tracker and review the job posting, learn as much as you can about the company, see if you're going to know who you're going to be talking to. Is it a recruiter? Is it an internal recruiter, meaning that they work for the company? Or is it an external recruiter that is hired by the company to find talent? So do your research in that regard. Make sure you know what job you are interviewing for. If you want to bomb an interview right away, come to the interview and simply say, I've applied for a lot of jobs. I don't know which job exactly I'm interviewing for today. Can you tell me? I actually had someone do that one time to me when I was hiring, and I just wanted to end the interview right there. Needless to say, they did not move forward. So definitely make sure you do your research. Now, the other thing is you may be asked to attend a one-way virtual interview. These have come up a lot, especially because of the pandemic. And it is a great way for companies to screen more talent without having to have their people, the hiring managers and the HR and the interviewing team, be on the call or video with you while you are giving your answers. It can be a little nerve-wracking, but essentially what happens is that you get a link, just like you would on a Zoom call, so to speak, and you would either see a pre-recorded video from somebody and they're going to ask you a question, or you would see the question pop up on the screen, and then you're going to answer it. And you're going to answer it as if there's nobody on the other side. Yes, that can be a little scary, but companies are moving toward more of these types of virtual interviews. I'm going to link up to a podcast I did with Jeremy Tolan from Spark Hire. Spark Hire is a fantastic company that works with organizations to provide video interviewing software and platforms for them, including the one-way video interview. So I had Jeremy on my podcast. We had a great opportunity to talk about it. And I will link up some other podcast episodes as well. They're really good for you to take a listen to if you haven't already. And just while I'm here, let me also say, if you are not subscribed to my podcast, the Mid-Career GPS podcast, please make sure you subscribe or follow on your favorite listening platform. Every single week, I am dropping information for you regarding leadership and career transition topics. And I also have some wonderful guests from time to time who come on and share their mid-career journeys and stories with us. So definitely make sure to check it out. And if you would, kindly rate and review. That'd be greatly appreciated as well. All right, do your research. Secondly, if you are doing a virtual interview, and I go through these tips in the book, but they're going to be looking around what else is going on. Okay. I have my background set up very specifically. I will also tell you my office right now is a total mess. So there's a lot of boxes with books and things like that that are packed away, and a lot of other things. Right. So yes, this all looks really neat and organized. And for the most part, my office usually is. There's a little clutter going on. They're not going to see that. They're only going to see what's in your frame. So make sure that there are things here that are personal and reflective about who you are and what you do. Maybe share a little interesting piece or tidbit about you. Like that Betty White ornament right there is really, really special to me, not only because of who gave it to me, but also because I'm a huge fan of Betty White. All of her game show work that she did, along with her acting, especially on the Golden Girls, I just love her, right? The bowling pin is there because I'm a bowler, right? You see my book. Yes, you see the Mr. Potato Head back there as a Yankee Yankee fan. Like, these are all things that I put there for very specific reasons that when I am networking with people, they might say, tell me a little bit more about that. You want your background to be professional looking, but also reflective of who you are. You need good lighting. Make sure they can see you. Make sure that you're framed accordingly, where your eyes basically are in the top third of the screen. You have a good microphone. You don't need a really good podcast mic like I have. I will also tell you, I spent about $100 on this. So it is a lot of money and it's not a lot of money, but I keep my AirPods close by. I don't always use them though when I am on video calls, because sometimes there's a time lag and you end up where you're saying things, but your lips aren't always in sync. So be careful of those as well. These are great, but just be careful of them as well. Those things are important, but you also want to be able to minimize as many distractions as possible. At the start of the pandemic, we gave a lot of people a pass, basically, when it came to the dog barking and the kids screaming and the noises and all those kind of things. But when you are going to an interview, whether it's a first, second, third, fourth, fifth round interview, whatever it is, you want to give it the importance and the priority and the respect that it deserves. So make sure you're in the quietest space as possible. If something like that happens, you just acknowledge it, take care of it, apologize for it, move on. Simple as that. If you're on a phone interview, make sure that the audio as well is really, really clear. Please don't eat on an interview. I say this only because it has happened. You may think, oh my gosh, I would never do that. It has happened. Drinking, like taking a drink of water or something, totally fine. But don't eat while you're on an interview. No. Okay. And here's the last tip that I'm going to leave with you for today that is going to be groundbreaking for you. It might be a little scary, but trust me on this, that when you get to do this, it's going to clear up a lot of mind drama for what happens after the interview. So let's say the interview is wrapping up and they start talking about next steps. And the hiring manager or the recruiter says to you, really want to thank you for your time today. It was nice meeting with you. We will follow up with you in a few weeks to let you know about the next steps. Say, okay, thank you so very much. In order to manage expectations, when you say a few weeks, can you tell me when I would expect to hear whether I'm moving forward or not? And then they're going to give you a more specific date. Let's say it's something like a week from Friday. Okay. Say, okay, here's what I'm going to suggest that you say at this point. And this will help you build the relationship with whomever you are interviewing with. Interviews are all about relationships. They want to get to know you. And if they want to get to know you a little further, they're going to invite you to another conversation. So you're going to say something like this. Thanks very much for letting me know that I should hear something by a week from Friday. I completely understand that things can get a little busy and schedules might get delayed. If for any reason I don't happen to hear from you by a week from Friday, would it be okay with you if I follow up on the following Monday just to check in and see where I'm at in the process? When you ask that question, what you are doing is you're partnering with them. And what they're going to say to you is either, yes, please feel free to reach out if we don't, or they're going to say, nope, that's okay. We'll definitely make sure to follow up. It's fine. At that point, you have a sense of where you stand. Now, I'm not going to talk about absolutes in this regard, but based on my experience, what I know is this. If they say, thank you so much, absolutely feel free to reach out to me, they don't want to lose contact with you. So that's important. If they happen to say to you, thank you, but we're going to make sure to follow up with everybody. It's okay. We'll talk to you then. More than likely, you are not moving forward. And you just go to whatever the next job or the next interview that you have in mind. Those are the things that tell a lot in an interview. And it's where you get to build a relationship with the interviewers, the hiring managers, the recruiters. Because what has often happened, and I saw this in my own career, I see this with my clients, is that they won't do this last step. And it does nothing but create mind drama for them. So now Friday comes along, they haven't heard anything, and they're like, oh, I didn't hear from them. Am I going to get the job? I don't know where I stand. And now you feel like almost like your weekend is ruined. When you set the ground rules for the next steps, because that's how you show up, now you have an agreement. Now you have permission to follow up because you've already made that agreement with them. And it saves you a ton of mind drama. Think about how you have so much control during the interview. You have control of your environment, your background. You have control in terms of what you say and what you share. You have control over setting up next steps as well. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk with you about the one question you must absolutely knock out of the park in order to get your interview exactly where you want it. And in all honesty, we've already done this work. All right. I look forward to talking with you tomorrow. Any comments or questions, go ahead and put them underneath this video in the Facebook group. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Make it a great day.